Every business activity, legal or illegal, has a purpose: the creation of wealth. And the most desirable wealth is cash. In cases where the origin of the money cannot be proven, the money will be determined to have been obtained illegally, like through drug smuggling, money laundering, and other ways to avoid taxes or completely illegal activities. As such, they're usually confiscated by the state. There have been astronomical amounts of cash seizures throughout history. In this video, we present the 10 largest cash seizures in the world. Number 10. The cash seizure in Edmonton. In March 2014, 12 people were arrested in Edmonton as the result of several drug trafficking raids, and one of them resulted in the biggest seizure of cash in the county. The biggest of the 6 busts ended with over $800,000 being seized. Police noted that most of the money would be used to compensate crime victims. Number 9. The cash seizure in Baldwin. More than $1.5 million in cash was seized in September 2013 from a truck in Baldwin, Alabama. It was the largest amount of drug money ever seized in the state. A routine vehicle inspection was conducted on a semi-truck in the middle of the day. The driver gave the police permission to search the truck. That is when they found 4 bags full of the cash. The driver then claimed that he did not know about the money or how it was hidden in his cab. Number 8. The $2.6 million cash seized in Canada. In 2012, Canadian authorities seized more than $2.6 million in one of the largest cash seizures in world history, and the largest in Canada. Police fished a suitcase full of cash from a harbor near Vancouver Island. A man believed to have the suitcase on his boat was arrested. He threw the suitcase into the water when he saw police approaching. It is believed that the money came from the drug trade between Canadian gangs and the Gambino family from New York, USA. Number 7. The $5.7 million cash seized in Australia. In 2013, an international criminal investigation in Australia seized a record $5.7 million. Australian authorities and federal police worked together in a 12-month operation targeting Italian money laundering groups and various local drug gangs. The civil police is also involved in this operation, which played the role of members of local gangs. The police intervene when the money is handed over. Number 6. The $7 million in cash seized in Atlanta. 3 men were apprehended and charged with federal crimes as $7 million in cash was seized in the largest money bust in the history of Atlanta. The DEA seized at least $5 million in cash. They also seized more than $2 million at another location, and federal officials stated that this seizure was related to $4 million seized near Atlanta a few weeks earlier. Number 5. The Contra Costa $18 million cash seizure in California. It was hailed as one of the largest cash seizures in state history when police seized more than $18 million in cash in January 2014. This was the result of a 2-year investigation that led to several arrests. The money came from the illegal trade with methamphetamine and cocaine. Number 4. The Australian seizure of over $40 million in cash. In January 2014, the Australian Crime Commission claimed a major victory in its war on organized crime. The Undercover Narcotics Task Force seized over $40 million in cash in 1 year. This task force carefully tracked money laundering employed by criminal gangs. In that period, the task force dismantled one of Victoria's largest drug labs, causing the state to seize in total over $40 million in cash. Number 3. The $50 million cash seizure in Colombia. Colombian police seized at least $50 million in January 2007. It was believed at the time to be the largest amount of money ever seized by a law enforcement organization anywhere in the world. The Colombian raids were carried out after a tip came from a source working with the DEA. The DEA then forwarded this information to the Colombian authorities. That raid seized at least $50 million hidden in a house inside a false cabinet. Number 2. $150 million cash seized in Australia. A huge ecstasy sting in Australia in 2009 seized over $150 million in cash and an astounding 4.4 tons of ecstasy pills. The Australian authorities took a year to conduct the operation, which netted many arrests, including bosses, freight haulers, and dock workers. They had stuffed the huge amount of cash and pills into 3,000 Italian tomato cans. Number 1. The $205 million Mexican cash seizure. In March 2007, U.S. and Mexican authorities seized over $200 million in one of Mexico's most expensive areas. U.S. officials said that the massive size of this seizure showed the huge scope of the illegal narcotics trade that links Mexico, Asia, and the U.S. 2 of the people who were arrested in this cash seizure actually were from China. The raid came after a long investigation that began in December 2006, when police seized 20 tons of pseudoephedrine, a cold medicine used to make meth, and led to a further investigation where they found the record amount of cash. That was all for this video. If you have any suggestions for our next video, please feel free to write to us in the comments. Till next video, see ya!